Welcome back to the CoolFigurez channel. I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector, and welcome to episode 32 of Coffee and Toys here on the CoolFigurez channel. First off, I just want to say thank you so much for 800 subscribers, guys. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. As always, we're going to talk this week's Coffee and Toys Live, future guests for Coffee and Toys Live, this week's toy haul. We're going to talk some DC and Warner Brothers because obviously you've probably heard by now they've been bought out by Discovery. And us as collectors should be especially happy about this, and I will definitely explain why later on in this podcast, as well as this week's toy news and so much more. But first, if you're new, then welcome. This channel is all about cool action figures, analyzing them, hunting them, taking pics of them, and of course, playing with them. If that's your sort of thing, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button? And while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and hit that bell notification icon so you stay notified when I do upload new content. If you do enjoy this video or any other videos that I put out, please remember to give them a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. So with all that being said, guys, once again, welcome to episode 32 of Coffee and Toys. And it's definitely going to be an exciting episode, guys. As you can see, we have a full table here for this week. So we'll definitely dip into that when we get into this week's toy news. But first and foremost, as always, we are going to start with this week's Coffee and Toys Live. So it happened again. Life got in the way, and the show did not go as planned. So unfortunately this week, due to unforeseen circumstances, my guest was not able to log on and be online at the time that we agreed upon. So there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, like I always say, life gets in the way, no issues. We are in talks of rescheduling. I like to plan ahead. So unfortunately, I am pretty much already in the month of May, like almost to June, in terms of planning and scheduling new hosts and stuff. So I informed him of that, and I told him that, you know, I'd love to still have him on the show, and I will let him know when the next available date is, you know, since I'm talking to other people currently, since I was already talking to other people currently about scheduling and dates and all that. So I'm going to wait till I hear back from them so that I can give him an available date, so that way he gets a chance to come onto the show as well. You know, I never hold it against guests if they can't make it. Life gets in the way. I understand that, especially even last minute stuff happens. And I've tried to minimize that on my end as much as I can now, knowing that, you know, not everybody knows that you're only able to go live on a mobile device on Instagram. So I've had to make that very clear and stipulate that in multiple emails to hopefully ensure that my guest understands that. And so far it's been working. Like I said, this time it was just a time thing. Stuff happened, got in the way. Totally understand. Not a big issue. So this week's Coffee and Toys Live was actually just a solo Coffee and Toys Live, which is at the end of this podcast. It may seem a little weird because I'm kind of just pulling stuff from the comments. You know, I'm doing stuff live by myself. I really had no agenda or plan set up or put aside in case I had to ever do a solo show. So I was basically just going off what the comments said, just hanging around, shooting the shit, you know, just talking to some of you guys that were there. Thank you so much for those of you that joined me on that live stream. We mainly talked a lot of Mezco, so that's good. You know, obviously I love Mezco, so that was always a fun time. So future guests of Coffee and Toys Live, guys. So this coming week on 420, I will have Real Shift. If you don't know who he is a movie reviewer here on YouTube, but he is also Rocco the Great's co-host when he goes live on his YouTube. So they do a bunch of live streams together and whatnot. And super excited to talk to him because he does also dabble in toy collecting. So definitely there's a connection there, but also most of the figures that we collect and buy and love, guys, came from movies, you know, and so, you know, there's that connection there as well. That's why I think he is a fit for the show, and we're gonna have some great conversations about movies, guys, so definitely look forward to that. Unfortunately, the week after that, there will be no Coffee and Toys Live because I will be celebrating my 25th birthday on the beautiful island of Maui, so I will be enjoying myself and will not be doing a Coffee and Toys Live. In fact, I kind of forgot to think of it and look this far in ahead, but I don't think there's going to be a Coffee and Toys that week in general, guys, because I will be leaving on Sunday and returning on Tuesday. So the following Tuesday, not that immediate Tuesday right after. So I will be in Hawaii when I technically do my filming for this. And, I won't have my film equipment. I just use my phone, but I won't have my ring light, my mic and all that stuff. And obviously my toys and stuff. So, I'm guessing we're going to actually take a week off of Coffee and Toys itself. You know, this will be the first weekend off of coffee and toys, if I'm not mistaken. But it is what it is, it's for a good cause and purpose. So I'm going to get to completely 100% de-stress, and I am definitely looking forward to that. But after that, the next week, we already are planned to come back with Can't Kill Chewy on May 4th. If you don't know who Can't Kill Chewy is, he is a YouTuber here on YouTube. He does have multiple videos up about Black Series and vintage collections in terms of top 10 videos and, prices and what they're worth and what needs to be re-released and what are the most undervalued and what are the most worthless. Great top 10 list in terms of mainly Black Series, but he does dabble in vintage collection, and his comedy throughout those is amazing. The other thing he does do is on Instagram, he actually does help inform us about recent drops, pre-orders, reveals, and all sorts of things like that. So he's kind of like a Toy Shiz in that sense, so in combination with Toy Shiz and him, you can get a lot of great information and stuff from him. So super excited to talk to him. And after that, I will be talking with the Loyal Subjects. Super excited to be talking with them, a toy company. I've gotten the chance and honor to speak with Diamond Select in the past with Zach Oath, their marketing manager, and now I will get a chance to speak with the Loyal Subjects. They're a pretty new company, if I'm not mistaken. I could be totally wrong, guys. They could be a company that's been around for a while and I just hadn't noticed them, but they're pretty new in the terms of like the mainstream, at least right now, because they've gotten a lot of recent big IPs and released a lot of those, like Ninja Turtles. Then there's the Lord of the Rings one. They've even dabbled in musicians and whatnot, which is super cool, which is actually how I found them, because I'm a big fan of Slash. And if you look back at like the McFarlane Slash figures and the ones like that, they aren't cheap. So when I found the Loyal Subject Slash figure, I was super happy to be able to find one that wasn't over $200-$300, and instead it was like, I think only like $12 or something like that. So that was really cool. So super excited to be talking to them. The week after that, I will be speaking with Visual Approach Photo. He takes some really great toy photography on Instagram, so definitely check him out at Visual Approach Photo. And then, like I said, I am speaking to a few people about dates and scheduling and stuff. So after that, I will keep you up to date on who will be following them. So yeah, guys. Once again, thank you so much for 800 subscribers. I recently just hit 700. It feels like just yesterday or a week or two ago, and here I am thanking you guys for 800 subscribers. So thank you so much. That is amazing. We are 200 away from 1,000, which is the ultimate goal, right? That basically helps push you out into the mainstream. I feel like I've always heard the first 1,000 is the hardest to get, and after 1,000, YouTube kind of helps you and a little more and pushes you out more, so it gets a little easier. But not that I'm hoping and praying and going like, oh, as soon as I hit 1,000, I'm gonna hit 2,000, 3,000. I'm still gonna put the work in. I'm still gonna do the same stuff that I've been doing, guys, don't worry. But I'm just hoping for that little bit of push, for all my effort and hard work thus far. So super excited about that. But it wouldn't be even possible, obviously, without you guys. I hit that subscribe button, so thank you so much, literally from the bottom of my heart, because if it wasn't for you guys, I would literally just be a grown man talking to myself about toys, surrounded by toys, living a very sad life. But thankfully, you guys enjoy my content, support me. I appreciate all the likes, all the comments. If you haven't already, follow me and check me out over on Instagram at CoolFigurez. If you see any pictures that you see in my videos and stuff, that's where I post the full images, so you guys can see the full images without them being cropped and whatnot in the video. I also have a separate, more dedicated toy photography page for my more thought out, planned out, more edited pics called Epic Shots by CoolFigurez. Check it out. If you like what you see there, leave me a follow there as well. And if you guys like unboxings, check me out over on TikTok at CoolFigurez. That's where I post all my unboxings, because I'm like a child personally when it comes to getting a new toy, and I cannot wait to rip it open. So I can't wait to set up my YouTube studio and then, do a review of the box and an unboxing and all this stuff. So I just pull out my phone real quick and pull up TikTok and I record a quick unboxing, and that's that. You know what I mean? That's how I can get it up and get some footage and some content up of an unboxing without me personally having to wait. Because when I get a new toy, like I said, I am like a child, and I cannot wait to rip it open. I just got this last night, and I'm surprised I haven't opened it up yet. So, yeah, guys, thank you once again for 800 subscribers. I really do appreciate it, guys. But who knows, maybe next week I'll be thanking you guys for 900 subscribers, or maybe it'll be in 6 months. Whichever it is, I am deeply appreciative of each and every single one of you that have hit that subscribe button, because 800 is already so many more than I thought I would ever reach. So thank you so much. I remember when I had 12 subscribers, and I was super happy that 12 people were interested in my content and enjoyed watching my show and watching my reviews and stuff. And now to think that I have 800 people that enjoy my content and watch and comment and stuff like that, it's incredible, guys. And you can probably tell by the fact that I'm not shutting the fuck up. So I'm gonna end it here about that. Thank you to each and every single one of you that have hit that subscribe button, that take time out of your busy day to watch my videos, to listen to me talk about toys. I really do appreciate it, guys. And with that being said, let's get into this week's toy haul. So yeah, guys, as you can see, a full table for this week's show. However, as you can see, there are a few figures here that have been here before, and you're probably thinking, well, what are they doing here? Well, first off, I want to say these are obviously, old figures that I've had on the table before. However, they have been updated and customized by my good friend Robert, so I wanted to show off his great and amazing work. So we'll dive deep into that in a sec. And then I have my old Mezco Batman here because I recently acquired this giant-ass Justice League Batman Batmobile, and well, we're going to put him in there to see if he can fit. So yeah, super excited about that. And well, I got this Batman with this Batmobile, so we'll dive into that as well. And then obviously, I recently received the Witcher Roach McFarlane Toys horse. I didn't build the Dark Knight horse because I didn't want Robin. I ended up getting Superman, Batman, and Joker. However, I bought Joker on OfferUp without the Build-A-Figure piece. I bought Superman for my friend Robert without the Build-A-Figure piece. And then I gave my friend Robert the Build-A-Figure pieces that came with my Batman. And so I didn't get any of the horse pieces and stuff, but I still wanted a horse, so I pre-ordered the Witcher horse back when he did announce it, because I was like, I know the past history of McFarlane Build-A-Figures, and they're not always the best. They don't always hold up. They don't always stay put together. So I was like, why mess around and have a collected build horse that's just going to fall apart on me, or worse, not even connect to build? I'll just buy the one that already comes pre-made, and I don't have to shell out the extra money for a Robin that I don't want. Pay the extra money for Joker, pay the extra money for Superman, because in total I got all three figures for essentially under, I want to say $60, which is really good considering that was a Build-A-Figure wave. But like I said, no Build-A-Figure pieces, but I was content with that. But I still wanted a horse, not so much for my Dark Knight Batman, but for my Gunslinger Spawn. So I do have him right here, so we will take a look at him on the horse when we get to that, so stay tuned for that. And then, like I said, last night I did find the brand new Universal Mummy figure at my local Walmart, or a Walmart somewhat near me, I should say. It's kind of, I consider all the Walmarts that I go to my local Walmart because they're within pretty decent driving distance, but it's not my local Walmart, but it's local enough to where I consider it my local one. I don't have to drive like an hour away to get to it. So yeah, this will be this week's unboxing. And then, as always, before I decided to come in and film, I got a delivery from Big Bad Toy Store, so we will be opening this guy up and seeing what will be on the table next week as a preview. So first off, why don't we go ahead and dive into the Batman McFarlane figures, and well, one Diamond Select figure. So thank you and shout out to my good friend Robert for customizing these amazingly. So why don't we start off with Penguin right here. So what exactly did he do? Well, he made the scars look more prominent, made them, pop more. He fixed the side eye on him, and he also made the trench coat look wet, which is amazing. And I went ahead and added the submachine gun and the briefcase of cash. So yeah, super cool. Thank you so much for that. He looks amazing. Next up, let's look at the Diamond Select Bernard Lowe figure that I customized to basically be Jim Gordon from the Batman. Well, I mean, I customized in terms of changing the name, but he did the rest in terms of coloring in the beard, so that way he only has that mustache like he does in the movie, because this figure is a figure based off Jeffrey Wright. However, he has a full beard, and so I asked him if he can color in the beard and just leave the mustache, and he was able to. So thank you so much for doing that and making me a Jim Gordon figure, because as I stated before, we're not going to get one from McFarlane. So he's already said he doesn't do the boring figures like that, so we're not going to get one from McFarlane. So yeah, thank you so much for that. Next up, let's go ahead and look at this custom unmasked Batman, because this is actually a collaboration between me and him, you can say, because he did all the work on the head sculpt, which is actually from the unmasked Drifter Bruce. So this is a custom unmasked Batman, because look, it's actually just a regular Batman without the head, because the unmasked Batman has the cowl, kind of back as a hood, but that's not movie accurate. In the movie, he literally takes the cowl off like it's a helmet. So how the fuck would it be draped back here? So I couldn't bring myself to buy that. And on top of that, my unmasked Drifter Bruce is on the Drifter bike with the helmet. So I had this random, Robert Pattinson head. So I went ahead and just told him, do what you can with it. And lo and behold, he did a fucking fantastic job. I mean, look at that. I mean, dare I say, it probably looks better than the Mezco one that they showed off. So thank you so much for that, Robert. You did a fucking amazing job on this head sculpt. Fucking amazing. And so, yeah, I went ahead and just popped the head off of a regular Batman, which was not easy to find because most of them come with that QC problem where it comes with the hood in the back, even though he's wearing the cowl and stuff. So thankfully, I was able to order one from GameStop, and the proper one came in, and I was able to do the head swap. And yeah, he looks amazing. So thank you, Robert. Really do appreciate that. His head sculpt looks amazing now. Like I said, probably better than the Mezco one that I've seen. So next up, why don't we go ahead and look at the regular Batman himself. So what else did he do besides paint the eyes straight? Thank you so much. He also weathered him up. I don't know if you guys can see all the great detail that he added, but on the boots, he added some nice dirt, make it look like he's been fighting crime, and it's been, it's not a clean suit like we got, He weathered up the bat symbol in the center right there. I don't know if his hands are blocking it or not, but he did some amazing little detailing work on this guy. So aside from fixing the eyes. So thank you so much, Robert. I really do appreciate that. So with that being said, why don't we go ahead and move on into, well, let's do the horse first. I got the horse and the Batmobile both on the same day. So let's go ahead and start with the item that's a little smaller and easier to deal with at the moment. And as soon as I say that, obviously, karma comes in and says, nope, it's not as easy as you think. Your Batman is actually leaning on top of it, and that's the whole reason he was standing. So, there we go. Now we can pull the Witcher horse forward, and as you can see, apparently it is different than the Build-A-Horse that we got with the Dark Knight Return wave, but that's okay. Like I said, I just needed a horse, not even for my Batman, but for my Spawn. So now that we've seen the horse, he does come with this sword, and he does come with 2 sheets on either side. So I'm sure the Witcher figure comes with another sword that goes in there, but I don't have that figure. But I do have this Gunslinger Spawn, which does need a horse, and he just dropped his pistol. So let's go ahead and move that there, because he only needs one anyways. So that way he can hold the reins. And, ooh, I think this is going to work out really nice, guys. Let's see if we can get him into his nice sitting pose. Let's see. Oh, right there. I think that's it. Does he have any thigh swivel? Oh, he does. He has very slight thigh swivel right there. Get him to sit down nicely right there. Ooh, he's all dusty. I know I need to clean my room, guys. I'm going to do a deep cleaning, and when I do, I think I'm going to record it so that way you guys can all see everything. Because when I do the deep cleaning also, I'm also going to try to rearrange things and make things fit a little better. Put some things that I've gotten recently that don't fit right now the way things are. And, once I rearrange things, hopefully they will fit a little better. But yeah, as you can see, he sits very nicely on this horse, can hold the reins, and he does look menacing. I do like how the horse is black. It just adds to that whole menacing look of this Spawn. So yeah, with that being said, I also brought the Dark Knight Returns Batman right here. So why don't we go ahead and try and shove him on this horse. Of course the horse is going to be mad that I'm trying to put all these people on his back. But we're going to get through it, guys. So let's go ahead. I'm just scared because it's my Mezco Batman. So let's go ahead and position this Batman so that he can sit on the horse and see how he looks on this one, since I don't have the Build-A-Figure one. Okay, the horse just wants to hit everybody down. So Batman also fits on this one. So, I mean, realistically, you don't need the collect to Build-A-Figure horse if you didn't want all that. He does fit and sit nicely on this one, as you can see. So yeah, either way, if you just want the horse, I recommend you just buying this one. So the review for this horse will be out later this week. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be keeping Gunslinger Spawn on him. Let's go ahead and put his... Oh yeah, his feet definitely fit into the holsters too, so that is amazing. Let's go ahead and just position this guy. And he dropped his other gun, so I have his other one right here. We'll just swap it out. Put that in right there. Oh shit, the reins, huh? He's got to be grabbing the reins. Okay. This was a lot easier the first time around. I should have done Batman first and then Gunslinger Spawn, but it is what it is. Let's see. Let's get him to sit down. There we go. Now that he's sitting down, he can grab the reins. There we go. Now he looks good. Hopefully the horse doesn't topple over now that he has Gunslinger on. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it with that horse. But next up, why don't we go ahead and look at this massive Batmobile that I picked up right here. So this is the Mattel one that was released a few years ago. This is unfortunately not the electronic one, so it doesn't have the lights, it doesn't connect to the app, it doesn't have the smoke, but it is still fucking huge, fucking amazing looking, detailed, and it fits 1/12 figure, so I couldn't say no to it, and I got it for a steal on OfferUp once again. My favorite app, apparently, for $70. The guy was originally asking $100. I offered $60, and he offered $75, and I said, well, I don't have a $5 bill on me, so can we do $70 so it's just even? And he's like, yeah. So shout out to him for doing that and allowing me to take this home for $70. I mean, this thing is a behemoth. Obviously, like I said, this figure came with it. I really don't need it because I'm going to be using this guy in it. And so, yeah, well, let me go ahead and take this guy off. Finally, he can be safely off the Batmobile. And let me go ahead and lift this giant thing up so that way you guys can take a nice close look at it. Because as you can see, it is massive. So there's that side. Here's the front side. Here's this side. And lastly, here's the back side. So yeah, this thing is super cool. I cannot wait to take some toy photography with this thing, and it just looks fucking amazing. So super excited about that. I will be shooting it this weekend because I think down to my last saved pic that I have for my Epic Shots by CoolFigurez page. So I do need some content, so I will be shooting with this thing this weekend, hopefully. But before all that, why don't we go ahead and try and sit Batman in there. Let me go ahead and take his accessories out of his hand so we don't happen to lose them in there or they break or anything. I'm also going to take the cape off because it's just going to fit better, I know, especially with this one being a wired cape. Maybe if I just put the straight solid cape on him, it would be a little better. But when he's in the Batmobile, you won't notice. So let's go ahead and try and... Oh, he's already taking out the bad guys with this Batmobile. Let's go ahead and try and sit this guy in here. Ooh, being super careful because Mezcos are not cheap figures. I'm sure you guys all know that. Let's see here. How far? Okay, so it's open all the way. So that's good. Let me see if I can turn his legs in. Slide him in a little bit more. Slide in up. Oh. Should probably condense his arms in. Oh, there it goes. Oh. Oh, he fits so beautifully. He fits so beautifully in here. And I think the electronic one is 1/10 scale, and this one is 1/12 scale. Because I saw a review on the electronic one, and his Mezco Batman barely fit, but mine sits in there so perfectly. Holy fucking shit. I am super excited about this thing. Not that I wasn't already, but fuck yeah. I'm super excited to shoot with this thing. So yeah, as you can see, I'm happy as fuck with this purchase. And the next thing, guys, is figuring out where the fuck I'm gonna put it. That's the big question now at this point. because as you can see behind me I have no space, and behind the camera I have absolutely no space. So that's going to be the big mystery of where am I going to put this behemoth thing that is beautiful. And I think I've decided to go ahead and move my Kylo Ren Black Series centerpiece that I have on a bottom shelf, and move some stuff to that shelf and put this guy on the shelf in the middle of my display, essentially right behind the camera. So when I do my whole room rearranging thing, you guys will definitely see all that in the updates and everything. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, super happy to have this thing. Gonna be having some fun, shooting this thing. Even though it's not the electronic one, I'm still gonna have some fun with this thing. As you can see, Batman fits in it perfectly, so super excited about that. So yeah, guys, that's all I gotta say about this Batmobile. And of course, last but not least, guys, like I said, we do have the NECA mummy figure, but that will be this week's unboxing after this week's toy news. So with that being said, why don't we go ahead and get into this week's toy news? But first, thank you so much to this channel sponsor, CoolFigurez Store. Check them out for our Funko Pop, anime, and Pokemon card needs, and use code CoolFigurez at checkout for 10% off your order. $5 flat rate shipping on all Funko Pop orders. And thank you to Old School Labs Supplements for also helping sponsor this video. Check them out over on Amazon at Old School Labs and use code JESSEM12 for 12% off your order. With that being said, guys, why don't we go ahead and talk some McFarlane news, because I kind of said we were going to talk some Discovery news and the merger and stuff. Well, this all ties in, so it works out. If you guys didn't know, Discovery recently bought Warner Brothers for, I think, the staggering amount of $43 billion. And recently it came out that a lot of the older executives over at Warner Brothers have either been let go or have been stepping down voluntarily themselves because they see the writing on the wall. And so there's going to be some changes in Warner Brothers, and I don't think Discovery paid $45 or $43 billion just to sit on it and not have it make them some of that $43 billion back. You know what I mean? So there's already discussions that they're trying to make DC its own studio, much like Marvel is with Disney. So it's not like Disney makes all these movies. It's like Disney gives Marvel Studio the money, but Marvel Studio already has all its people in-house. It's FX people, it's writers, it's directors, it's all of these people are in-house at Marvel Studios. It's not like the studios like, okay, now we're gonna work on this movie, so we're gonna pull people from here. No, all these people will stay and work with the company and stuff. So that's what Warner Brothers and Discovery is trying to do now with the DC property. They're trying to make a DC Studios, so that way everything is in-house under one roof and they can make a cohesive storyline. But they're going to be different in the sense that not only are they going to have like a MCU, the DCEU, a cohesive storyline that connects and intertwines with all these other films, but they're also going to hold with those singular movies like Joker and the Batman, which is going to differentiate them from Marvel Studios, when you look at them and stuff. So super excited about that. And the great thing about this is it seems like Discovery's looking at a lot of these stupid ass decisions that Warner Brothers had been making in terms of DC and stuff, and is really saying, well, why are you making these decisions? It's not making you any money. It's not making the franchise any money. In fact, it's devaluing the franchise and making it worthless, and so we're holding on to nothing. And so they're really reversing a lot of these stupid decisions that were made by previous executives at Warner Brothers. And so I am hoping that that will carry on and trickle on down to us collectors, and then finally lifting the stupid no gun rule with the fucking action figures. I'm really hoping that, with all these changes that Discovery's making, that will be made as well. They'll say, there's no gun rule ban on action figures. Makes no fucking sense, especially when they see all of us, bitching and complaining. So they didn't spend $43 billion just to sit on assets that aren't going to make them any of that money back. So I can totally see them saying, you know what, we're going to take away that ban and you guys can finally give them guns again. So hopefully within the next 6 months, our action figures from McFarlane Toys will be coming with guns once again. But all we can do is wait and see until that point. So why don't we go ahead and talk some McFarlane Toys news, since we're talking DC and Warner Brothers. So last week, McFarlane Toys teased the Batman Blackest Night figure with the image of his arms coming out of the grave. And this week we got not only one, but two reveals of the Batman and Superman from the Blackest Night storyline. So yeah, more peg warmers. I mean, even though there's zombified versions of Batman and Superman, they don't look the greatest, especially the in-hand looks. So, yeah, I'm really gonna have to wait and see once I see it in person. That would ultimately make up my mind on whether or not I'm gonna pick them up because they don't look that great in my opinion. But if you want them, if that's something you've been wanting and looking forward for, so they're coming, I guess. So yeah. But I guess McFarlane was on a zombie kick because, in line with their revitalization of DC Direct, they are continuing figures that were somewhat previously shown off, but never released due to DC Direct shutting down. And this is a continuation of the DC Direct Deceased line. And so he opened up pre-orders for Deceased Red Hood, Nightwing, Batgirl, and Deathstroke. And that's why I said I think McFarlane was on a zombie kick this week because we had the Blackest Night Batman and Superman, and now we have the Deceased 4 figures from DC Direct here. So in terms of those Deceased figures, I mean, I have the Batman and the Joker one from the original run, but they're essentially just statues, and it makes sense why Todd's going to make them and stuff, but I necessarily don't need them for that. I mean, the Deathstroke one does kind of look cool, and the Red Hood one. Nightwing actually looked pretty cool too, although Batgirl does too. And I'm not too big on the Bat family, but I don't know, guys. I'm gonna have to like really wait and see. I think I'm gonna pass on them ultimately, and so yeah. But if you guys are interested, if you started collecting that line and you were kind of bummed that they didn't finish it and continue it on, well, they're continuing it on with those 4 new figures, and I'm sure he'll continue it on once those 4 figures come out. Because once again, like I said, Todd is in the business to make money, much like Discovery is after spending $43 billion to get Warner Brothers and all them. So yeah, guys, moving on, why don't we go ahead and talk some Marvel Legend news, because they made one big announcement this week. That is that in 2023, we will be getting the 3 Spider-Men from No Way Home. 2023, guys. That is a full 2 years after No Way Home came out, you know. I mean, I know it came out at the end of 2021, but 2 years after. And I understand that they were trying to keep, you know, the movie from being spoiled and whatnot, but what's the demand going to be like at that point? I mean, obviously it's going to sell out. It's Spider-Man, but it's just like, wow, 2023 is like not even 2022. They couldn't even give it to us this year. So, yeah, too little, too late. Let me know down in the comments below. What do you guys think? Too little, too late? Are you still interested? I know I'll still at least be picking up an updated Tobey Maguire. And I guess I'll get an Andrew Garfield just to have the trio at this point. Not that I'm a fan of him or his portrayal of Spider-Man. You can bitch and whine and complain in the comments all you want about that, but he's just not my Spider-Man, guys. I'm sorry. Toby and Tom do way better of a job than him. He's just too cool to be Peter Parker, in my opinion. Like, if you looked at him and he was a kid in high school, he wouldn't be a nerd that was outcasted or anything. He would literally look like every typical cool kid in high school at that time. He can skate, so he wasn't uncoordinated like Peter Parker should be. He wasn't all, you know, nervous and anxious. He pulled Gwen Stacy pretty simply. So yeah, I don't know. I really don't like his portrayal. I don't like the storyline, especially the way that Amazing Spider-Man just tried to set up so much and amounted to nothing, you know, especially the ending. The ending was like so lackluster. It was like, I mean, I can't even say it was a free fall, because a free fall is exciting. Like it was like a straight line. Like you were gonna climax and then just nothingness. It just vanished away. I don't know. That movie just really irked me, and I just never really liked Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. But I may pick him up in Marvel Legend form just to have the trio, since he did appear in No Way Home. But what do you guys think? Too little, too late for these figures, or are you guys still going to be excited in 2023 for them? Next up, Power Rangers did announce the final 3 Ninja Rangers from the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger line, Rocky, Aisha, and Kat. However, I have heard that Target, because these are a Target exclusive, has been canceling pre-orders for the previously released, I think, Black, Blue, and White Rangers. So stay on the lookout for that. If you pre-ordered them, check your pre-orders because I believe my friend Robert's got canceled. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with Target, but they are canceling pre-orders. So be on the lookout for that if you have pre-ordered the previous announced and solicited Mighty Morphin Ninja Rangers. So thank you to Raise Energy for also helping sponsor this video. Check them out over on raise.com and use code THEBAT for 10% off your order. Thank you so much as well to Man Sport Supplement for helping sponsor this video as well. Check them out over on mansportsupplements.com and use code THEBAT for 10% off your order. So with that being said, why don't we go ahead and talk about some NECA news. They didn't have any reveals, however, they did suddenly put up orders or pre-orders for the Boys Black Noir. Now, I don't really talk about these figures because I personally have not seen the show. I've not been into the show or anything like that, so I don't collect the figures. However, the reason I wanted to bring this figure up is because it is a really cool looking figure, and had they not jacked up the prices, I may have been into buying 1 or 2 or potentially 4 of these guys as just basic ninja stealth army builder figures, you know what I mean? But at the current price that they are now at, I am out completely. I have absolutely no interest in purchasing this figure, but it still looks really cool, and it would make a great army builder if you didn't want to use it for its intended purposes of being Black Noir, and just being, like I said, a basic ninja soldier and stuff. So super cool, but I'm going to have to pass on that unless I find it on clearance somewhere, which I highly doubt. But next up, let's go ahead and talk some G.I. Joe news, because they did have one big major reveal, and that is in the form of Dr. Mindbender. They are releasing him in this big fancy packaging deluxe set with all sorts of great accessories. Like I said, personally, I don't collect this line. However, I do like G.I. Joe, and I do like the way this line is going and the way it looks and everything. So I do like to admire from afar and see the great work that they're putting out, because Hasbro is doing a fantastic job with the G.I. Joe classified line. So super excited to see what else comes out of it. Dr. Mindbender does look great. The accessories that he comes with look amazing. And so yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to our final bit of news. There wasn't too much news this week, guys. It was a bit of a slow week, but like I said before, it can't always be jam-packed full of toy news and pre-orders and all this great stuff, because we'd all go broke, right? So before we get into that, thank you so much to our final sponsor, Legend Footwear. Check them out over at legendfootwear.com and use code JesseM_LGND for 10% off your order. So the last bit of news that we do have is finally some Mezco news. They did release, solicit, and sell out of essentially the Murder Hornet figure. So this is a variation on their Rumble Society Krieg figure, which has been teased and hinted at for quite some time, but finally sees a release. And at $95, this was a steal. However, they are portrayed as a pair, so if you wanted it to be accurate, you would have paid about $220 or $30 with taxes and shipping and all that all together. But if you just wanted one, $95 and it's yours. Well, shipping and tax, obviously. But it was an easy pass for me, just because me personally, I'm not into the Krieg figures, and this was an easy pass for me with it being just another Krieg figure. Until I saw somebody fucking mention that it works as a modern Firefly against Batman, and I started kicking myself in the ass because it had already essentially waitlisted. And for those of you that ordered it, it's already out shipping from New York. Shout out to Toy Page for that information. But yeah, so if you ordered the Murder Hornets, they're on their way to your door. Now, out of all the Krieg figures, these guys do look the best. I don't know. I just couldn't pull the trigger on them. I recently invested in some personal training equipment for my personal training business, and bought a few other toys. So I was like, you know what? I can pass on this. Until, like I said, I saw someone mention that it can work as a modern Firefly, and I was really like, shit, you're right. And now I'm really wishing and hoping that I would have ordered it and whatnot. But too little, too late. It is what it is. So yeah, guys, that basically wraps up this week's toy news. Like I said, not too much, but what we got was pretty decent, I guess you can say, especially considering that it was the return of some Mezco toys news. But it's always good to get a bit of a break from them, because as amazing as their figures are, they do cost a bit more than your average, say, McFarlane or I was gonna say Marvel Legends, but these are also McFarlane's or NECA figures. You know what I mean? So as amazing as they are, it's good to know that they don't come out, as consistently as some of these other brands and lines, which gets them in a lot of hot water sometimes, but in my opinion, just gives me more time to save. So with that being said, guys, why don't we go ahead and get into this week's unboxing? But you know what? Before we get into this week's unboxing, why don't we find out what the fuck is in the box? Now, I do have a bit of an inkling as to what may be in this box, but I don't know 100%. So why don't we find out together what is in the box? So I have my handy dandy Batman knife right here. I'm gonna go ahead and switch hands to my dominant hand so I have more control of the knife. I don't slice my own body or hand. And I am in an awkward position here, guys. This Batmobile is just ginormous. Let's go ahead and slice that end. Let's go ahead and slice this end. And now we can cut it straight down the middle. Right there. Okay. Close that up for safety reasons. Open this up. Oh, it is what I thought it is. And super happy and hyped because I now have the full team of the morphed Ninja Turtles. And wow, look at that packaging job. It's a good thing I'm an open box collector, because if I wasn't, that'd be really fucking bad. But to be honest, I didn't pay for collector quality, so that makes sense too. But super excited to have these guys. These guys will be on the table next week. Not going to be an unboxing, but because I'm going to dive into them and play with them as soon as I can. But yeah, super excited about that. So with that being said, why don't we go ahead and dive into this week's unboxing, being the brand new NECA Toys The Mummy colorized version. So here's the front packaging. Here is the back packaging. All sorts of great images. Here's this side, and here's this side. A little different. And of course, if you open it up, you get the image of the figure as well as the figure with all its great accessories. So I haven't even taken a look at this, I'll be honest. Or maybe I did last night. I was more concerned about the face sculpt in the figure than the actual picture. So looks pretty good. So with that being said, why don't we go ahead and open this guy up? So we now have the Wolfman, Frankenstein, and the Mummy. They have already teased that they are going to be doing a Dracula figure on what was his name? Whatever the actor's name is. During his birthday, they went ahead and teased that they are going to be releasing a figure based off him as Dracula. So, I mean, I'm almost done with this portion of the podcast, so they're going to stay laying down. So I'm sure he's going to be the next figure to be released, but I'm really hoping and waiting for the creature from the Black Lagoon. That's the figure that I am really hoping for to come out. So with that being said, here is the Mummy in his tray shot. He comes with the chest right here, some bandages, 2 extra heads, and an extra set of hands right there. So why don't we go ahead and free this Mummy from his tomb so that way he can walk again. Oh, one more. There we go. I have no idea where that went. That probably went straight into my coffee. Alright, guys, so here we have the Mummy all out of his packaging, and man, does he look creepy. NECA definitely did a great job with this figure. Cannot wait to take some shots of him. Can't wait to do my review of him. But yeah, guys, that's been this week's unboxing. So, like I said, this week's Coffee and Toys Live was a solo Coffee and Toys Live, the first one ever, because my guest could not make it due to unforeseen circumstances, which I do not hold against him. Like I said, life is life, especially when you own your own business and you have kids. I can't even imagine. So definitely understood, and we'll be rescheduling with him as soon as I can. But I did have a bit of fun on this live by myself. Thank you once again, and shout out to those of you that joined the live stream and kept it going and kept the conversation interesting. Once again, it's always because of you guys that, things like this are successful. It's not because of me. It's because of you guys that watch, tune in, and make things successful. So thank you so much. So yeah, I'll go ahead and include it so that way you guys can watch it if you want. But it's essentially just me talking to the chat, giving a bit of an update on what's going on and whatnot. So like I said, we do talk some Mezco toys. It's always a good conversation when we talk Mezco toys, right? So yeah, guys, with that being said, once again, thank you so much for 800 subscribers. That means the absolute world to me. Like I said, I still remember when I had 12 subscribers and I was happy about that. Now I have 800. Blows my mind. So yeah, guys, with that being said, why don't we go ahead and move on into this week's Coffee and Toys Live. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. If you enjoyed those pics, you can find the full images over on Instagram at CoolFigurez. And I do also have a separate Instagram account for my more thought out, planned out, more edited pics called Epic Shots by CoolFigurez. Check it out. If you like what you see, leave me a follow there as well. And if you guys like unboxings, check me out over on TikTok at CoolFigurez. That's where I post all of my unboxings. And check me out every Sunday for Coffee and Toys, a weekly Toy News Toy Talk podcast where we will go over all the latest and great toy news, reveals, pre-orders, weekly toy haul, and so much more. And join me every Wednesday over on Instagram for Coffee and Toys Live, where I will speak to a new guest every week about toys, toy hunting, toy photography, and so much more. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to me talk about toys. I really do appreciate it.